interesting situation going on with some new Republican Obamacare hearings. You're probably saying to yourself the same thing you were saying to yourself at the top of the show today about Benghazi hearings. We're still having hearings about Obamacare. Yes, we are. Republicans have been fighting against the Affordable Care Act for a long time. First, it was to say it was a communist socialist government takeover. Then it was to say that it was against the law. Then it was to say that we can't afford it. Then when it passed, they challenged it constitutionally. The Supreme Court upheld the law. Then they ran a campaign to simply repeal it and spent years trying to repeal it in Congress. Then they said, okay, that's not going to work. We're going to tell young people not to sign up. Young people signed up, so then they started calling for hearings, which is where we were this week. It's not clear what House Republicans wanted to get out of these hearings with health insurance executives, but it didn't really go very well. They apparently wanted to prove that Obamacare was failing, and what they wanted to say, what they wanted to get out of the health insurance executives was that all these people signing up for Obamacare, fine, they're signing up, but they're not paying for coverage, and therefore this is just not going to work. Unfortunately, the health insurance executives were basically on the same page that about 80% of the people that signed up have actually paid the premiums and are up to date, are current on premium payments. And this went so badly for Republicans, ladies and gentlemen, that some of the Republicans in the hearings started to just kind of sneak out in the midst of the hearings. And I know people come and go all the time, but it was abundantly clear in this particular case, they were just not wanting to even be identified with hearings that were really saying nothing negative about the Affordable Care Act.
It's incredible. It's also incredible that this is still the goal of the Republican Party right now, basically obstructionism. And we're headed towards the midterms. I mean, I guess a lot of this is probably just political posturing. People think that this is going to get them reelected, but unfortunately, it looks like it might work, too, in a lot of cases.
It may work, but at the same time, Republicans were visibly exasperated as the insurers failed to confirm every single Obamacare nightmare story that was posited by the Republicans. But let's be totally clear. I don't really know why Republicans are so upset, because their own buddies, their plutocratic buddies in the big insurers, the private for-profit insurers that are tied in with Wall Street, which Republicans and most Democrats love, are reporting that they've got millions of new customers. You'd think this would make them happy.
Well, it's probably making the insurers happy, but I guess not so much the Republicans. But how many people are really watch this, or are reading up about it? I mean, it's probably pretty minuscule.
Yeah, you're probably right, although clips from this maybe will make it into campaign ads, and you know how the whole thing works, Louis. I'm devastated and furious that none of those insurance executives were asked about what happened in Benghazi. Can you imagine, Louis, a Republican-led hearing without questions about Benghazi, even if it is health insurance executives?
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised at all if some Republican tried to link Benghazi and Obamacare.
We are member supported, and there's a whole other show that we do just for our supporters. Get all of those member benefits right now by going to davidpakman.com/